Burkina Faso. A land of rich culture and history, yet in recent years, it has been a nation grappling with instability. The streets have been filled with unrest, protests echoing the cries of a population desperate for change. Amidst this turmoil, a nation yearning for change found a new figure to rally behind. Enter Ibrahim Traoré, a young military officer thrust onto the world stage. Traoré's rise was as swift as it was unexpected. In 2022, Traoré seized control of Burkina Faso through a coup d'état. It was a bold and decisive move that shocked many. The coup was executed with precision, a swift and decisive move that left no room for opposition. At just 34 years old, Traoré became one of the youngest leaders in the world, a symbol of hope for some and a cause for concern for others. For his supporters, he represented a new dawn, a beacon of hope in a time of darkness. But for others, his sudden rise to power was a cause for concern, a sign of potential instability. Traoré's rise to power was unexpected, but it was not without cause. Burkina Faso had been plagued by violence and unrest for years. Jihadist groups wreaked havoc, and the previous government seemed powerless to stop them. The violence had left deep scars on the nation, with communities torn apart and lives shattered. The people demanded change, and Traoré promised action. He promised security and a return to stability. He promised to restore Burkina Faso to its former glory, and the people listened. They yearned for a strong leader. They yearned for someone who would stand up for their interests, someone who would bring about the change they so desperately needed. Traoré, with his youthful energy and unwavering resolve, seemed to fit the bill. He quickly consolidated power, appointing new military leaders and dissolving the parliament. He took bold steps to solidify his control, ensuring that his vision for the nation could be realized. He promised a return to civilian rule, but only when the time was right. For now, his focus was on restoring order and stability. Traoré's ascent was meteoric, and his leadership, though untested, was marked by a clear vision and determination. One thing was clear: Burkina Faso would never be the same. The stage was set for a new era, an era of uncertainty and possibility. The dawn of a new chapter in Burkina Faso's history, with Ibrahim Traoré at the helm, leading the nation into an uncertain future. An era with Ibrahim Traoré at the helm, a leader who promises to bring change and restore hope to a nation in turmoil. Ibrahim Traoré's vision for Burkina Faso is clear. He envisions a nation that stands tall and proud, unshackled from the chains of dependency and foreign control. His primary focus is on national sovereignty and self-reliance. Traoré believes that for Burkina Faso to truly thrive, it must first reclaim its autonomy. He believes in a Burkina Faso free from foreign interference. This means taking bold steps to ensure that the country's policies and decisions are made by Burkinabe for Burkinabe, a Burkina Faso that controls its own destiny. This vision is not just about political independence but also about economic and cultural self-determination. This message resonates deeply with many citizens. They see in Traoré a leader who understands their struggles and aspirations. They are tired of Western influence. For decades, external powers have dictated the terms of engagement, often to the detriment of the local population. They are tired of being pawns in a geopolitical game. The people of Burkina Faso yearn for a future where they are the masters of their own fate. Traoré's stance against Western imperialism is unwavering. He speaks with a conviction that inspires many. He sees it as a new form of colonialism, a subtle yet pervasive control that continues to exploit and undermine African nations, a colonialism that exploits Africa's resources. From gold to cotton, the wealth of the land has often been siphoned off, leaving little for the local communities, a colonialism that undermines African leadership. His rhetoric is fiery, but it strikes a chord with those who have felt the sting of exploitation. His words, a rallying cry for Pan-Africanism. He envisions a united Africa, where nations support each other in their quest for true independence. He calls for African unity. Traoré believes that only through solidarity can African nations break free from the cycle of dependency. He calls for an end to Western exploitation. This means challenging the status quo and demanding fairer terms of trade and cooperation. At the heart of Traoré's vision is economic independence. He wants to see a Burkina Faso where local businesses thrive and the economy is driven by the ingenuity and hard work of its people. He wants to break free from the shackles of foreign aid. While aid can provide temporary relief, Traoré argues that it often comes with strings attached that hinder true progress. He wants to build a Burkina Faso that can stand on its own 2 feet. This means investing in infrastructure, education, and healthcare to create a strong foundation for future generations. A Burkina Faso that can provide for its own people. Traoré's vision includes a robust social safety net that ensures all citizens have access to basic necessities. He believes in harnessing the country's natural resources, gold, cotton, and more. These resources, if managed properly, can be the bedrock of national prosperity. Resources that can fuel development. Traoré envisions a future where the wealth generated from these resources is reinvested into the country, resources that can lift Burkina Faso out of poverty. Traoré's vision is ambitious, aiming to transform the nation into a beacon of progress and self-sufficiency. Some might even say it's radical. But in a region grappling with poverty, insecurity, and a legacy of colonialism, bold ideas are often necessary. But in a region grappling with poverty, insecurity, and a legacy of colonialism, it's a vision that resonates. It speaks to the deep-seated desire for change and empowerment. It's a vision that resonates. Traoré's message of hope and self-determination has struck a chord with many. It's a vision that offers hope. For the children playing in the streets and the families working hard to make ends meet, Traoré's vision promises a brighter future. It's a vision that could redefine Burkina Faso's place in the world. A vision that, if realized, could turn the nation into a symbol of resilience and self-reliance for all of Africa. January 2025, Accra, Ghana. The city was alive with anticipation, the air thick with the promise of a new beginning. The streets were adorned with flags, and the people of Ghana were ready to witness a historic moment. The inauguration of President John Mahama, a celebration of democracy, a gathering of dignitaries from across the continent and beyond. The atmosphere was electric, filled with hope and pride, but amidst the jubilant celebrations, an unexpected scene-stealer emerged. Ibrahim Traoré, pistol on hip, surrounded by armed guards, arrived with a bang, literally. The crowd gasped, whispers filled the air. Who was this young, imposing figure who dared to make such a dramatic entrance? Who was this young, imposing figure? Traoré was not just any military leader, he was a symbol of power and defiance, a man who had risen through the ranks with sheer determination and an iron will. Traoré, with his signature swagger, commanded attention. His every move was calculated, his presence magnetic. The crowd couldn't take their eyes off him. He moved through the crowd of dignitaries with an air of confidence that was impossible to ignore. His presence was felt by everyone around him, like a shark through water. The dignitaries parted, making way for this formidable figure. It was clear that Traoré was a man on a mission. His security detail, a constant presence. They scanned the surroundings, alert for any threat. The message was clear. Traoré was not just any leader. He was a man who took his security seriously, a man who was always prepared for the unexpected. Traoré was not just any leader, he was a man of action, a man who had proven himself time and again on the battlefield and in the political arena. He was a man of action, a leader who didn't just talk about change but made it happen. His actions spoke louder than words, a man who took security seriously. His vigilant security team was a testament to his commitment to safety and order, a man who was not afraid to show his strength. Traoré's powerful stance and unwavering gaze left no doubt about his resolve. This was not the typical diplomatic visit. This was Traoré's style. Bold, unapologetic, unforgettable. His presence was a statement, a declaration of his unique approach to leadership. His presence sent shockwaves through the event. The dignitaries were taken aback, the crowd murmured in astonishment. Traoré had made his mark. It was a stark reminder of the instability plaguing the Sahel region, a region fraught with conflict and uncertainty, where leaders like Traoré emerged as beacons of hope and strength. It was a reminder of Traoré's own rise to power, a journey marked by challenges and triumphs, by battles fought and won. And it was a reminder that he was a force to be reckoned with. The world watched, captivated. Traoré had once again proven that he was a leader who could not be ignored, a leader who commanded respect and attention wherever he went. Ibrahim Traoré's journey was not just about personal ambition, it was a bold stance against Western influence. He believed that true independence could only be achieved by breaking free from the chains of neo-colonialism. His speeches echoed with a powerful message: our destiny is in our hands, not in the hands of foreign powers. The world watched as Traoré's vision began to take shape, challenging the status quo and inspiring a new wave of thought across the continent. Ibrahim Traoré, with a vision clear and resolute, began to forge a new path for his people. He understood that true leadership required not just strength but wisdom and compassion. As he navigated the complexities of his role, he remained steadfast in his commitment to justice and equality. This was a turning point, a moment where his ideals began to shape the reality around him. To truly appreciate Traoré's leadership, we must consider the context in which he rose to prominence. The socio-political landscape was fraught with challenges, both internal and external. Yet, Traoré's ability to inspire and unite people set him apart. His leadership was not just about making decisions, it was about fostering a sense of community and shared purpose. He led by example, and his actions spoke louder than words. As Traoré's influence grew, so did the pressures he faced. Internally, he had to manage differing opinions and expectations within his own ranks. Externally, the eyes of the world were on him, scrutinizing his every move. But Traoré was not one to be easily swayed. He stood firm, balancing the demands of leadership with the need for diplomacy and strategic thinking. It was a delicate dance, but one he performed with grace and determination. The legacy of Ibrahim Traoré is still unfolding, but its impact is already undeniable. His journey from humble beginnings to a position of influence is a testament to his resilience and vision. Traoré's story is one of hope and perseverance, a reminder that true change is possible when driven by unwavering conviction. As we look to the future, his legacy continues to inspire and guide us, a beacon of what can be achieved through dedication and courage.